you were doing it, did it feel important at the time or not?
Yes.
How so?
Well, we weren't welcome anywhere else really, were we? We had to have our own place. And we didn't want to go anywhere else because we didn't want to hear that music. We didn't want to be beaten up. We didn't want to be part of the punk scene. We didn't want to be part of the AME rock scene. And the fashion scene, as you expressed quite rightly, was way out of our financial reach, and it was all very, very New York, Paris, and all that stuff. And some people were on the dole, you know. The reason we left Billy's was because they wanted to increase the prices to capitalise on 100 kids coming on a Tuesday night in what you described the winter of discontent. So it was a very miserable time. It was also really miserable to be not sure if you're a boy or a girl, but hey man, let's go out tonight. And as a DJ, I played songs which said, you know, she was a she, and then hey mate, take a walk on the wild side. And vicious, you hit me with your flowers.
It's the first DJ to sing his own set. It's actually marvellous, isn't it?
The lyrics were very important, as they were very important when Elvis Beatles or the Rolling Stones in 1977. The lyrics were very important, and disco was get up, stand up, boogie, oogie, you know, and we wanted lyrics, you know, and as George Moroder's record was pioneering I Feel Love, it was really just some girl warbling over what became the soundtrack of the future, the electronic dance music. A band called Space in France made Magic Fly, and Telex in Belgium, and Kraftwerk in Dusseldorf, and this music that I was loving was being ignored everywhere by DJs, by radio, and to me it was like another form of punk. It was like, well, nobody wanted to know punk, did they? You know, it was just did it. So, as you expressed, DIY. Steve Strange took a heterosexual punk male, me, to a load of gay clubs, and it was like, you know, just turn around now, you're not welcome anymore, in every single club. But I did hear Sylvester, You Make Me Feel Mighty Real, and I thought, wow, that's a great record, you know. And they nearly all had which is New Order, 1983, I think. How does it feel? So what I'm saying is there was a sound I was hearing in gay clubs, which later became High Energy, Your Love Is Lifting Me. And as a drummer, I thought my career's over. Just plug in a drum machine, you know. And in Liverpool, and in Sheffield, and Birmingham, there were other people who felt the same, and they were starting bands. Duran Duran, OMD, New Order, well, Joy Division became New Order, and Daniel Miller made Warm Leatherette. So I just found all this music, and the Blitz kids didn't say, what's this crap? Which I still get today from Sharon. You know, everybody knows the person that goes up to the DJ, you know, and wants to hear the #1 record, Shut Up in Your Face or something. You're trying to play Vienna, you know, DJ's nightmare. So the point was, there was a sound, there were people, and you went out in the daytime, and you went to Smile Hairdressers, or you went to the King's Road, or Hackney Attractions, or Sex on the King's Road, and you met people, and you said, there's this place on Tuesday, and the music's great, and you're going to love it. It was like a little secret.
I love that idea, the eclecticism and the outsider. Bob, you were saying earlier, though, it didn't last that long, and the clubs that followed it had much longer lifespans. Why was Blitz relatively short, 16, 17 months?
I think that's actually rather long for the Blitz, to be honest. Because the whole ethos was that a look lasts one night, that even a sound, you move on constantly. Rusty was playing new records every single week. And the whole point about this was that it came from that Bowie shape-shifting concept. You could be a hero just for one day. Well, we didn't live by day, we lived by night. And the look was extraordinary because it really was perpetually moving on. If you were wearing what someone else was wearing last week, you try walking past Steve Strange looking like that, or putting your coat in with George as the cloakroom girl. I mean, you'd soon get let know. It was an amazing display of teenage, and one of the things about it is they were called Blitz kids because we were kids. There was almost no one over the age of 21. This is teenagers. Some of them 16, 17. Philip Salon was 84 when he first walked in. But most of us were really young, really creative, but also really mischievous. I think one of the things about the Blitz is it's sometimes portrayed as a bit po-faced. All these people posing, and we were certainly doing that. But it was anything but po-faced. It was scurrilous, it was dangerous, it was naughty, it was sexy, it was all of those kind of things. So Rusty's providing this wonderful backdrop. And it wasn't, one of the things about Rusty is you never played too loud. So people could dance, but at the front end you could still talk. I could still get Steve Dagger in my ear saying, we're going to take over the world, we're going to start bands, we're going to start shops, we're going to... And so it was a club in the best sense of the word. It wasn't a disco. It was a club of like-minded individuals who wanted to go out there and have a great time at a terrible time. 1979 is about as low as it gets in the kind of pantheon of modern British history. You could smell the streets, literally. And so we thought, bollocks to that, we're going to have fun. And not only are we going to have fun, we're going to try and make something out of this. And so that question, did we know at the time? Yeah. It's one I've pondered a lot in my book. I've thought about it. Because on the one hand, you're going out and it's hedonistic and you're getting dressed up and you're falling over and you're snogging someone in the girls' toilets and all of that stuff is going on. But at the same time, I think very quickly we all started to know we're part of something here. And this is something a bit bigger than any one of us individually.
It's really easy. When most conversations that